Hey guys, Simon here from Simon Says Cycling. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and download your free training plan at simonsaycycling.com. But today I'm going to talk about motor pacing. I had a question the other day from somebody of how to do motor pacing. As a kid, I grew up motor pacing. We used to do it a lot on the track and the road to prepare for big events. As a professional, we did it as well before big events to do motor pacing. I have some friends who coach some of the very, very best riders in the world, some of the best sprinters in the world, and some of the best actually stage races in the world. So I have quite a good idea of motor pacing, how to do it, how not to do it. Remember that if you are going to do motor pacing, it's really important that you have somebody who's very skilled, who knows how to drive either a car or a scooter, who knows, who can account for any kind of slowing, that there's a system in place where, if something should happen, what is the car going to do? What is the motorbike going to do? And typically, they're going to accelerate away. They're not going to brake, right? They want to accelerate away. So safety is a very, very key issue here when it comes to motor pacing. But besides that, let's assume that you're motor pacing with somebody who's very experienced. Maybe you have a roller. If you're doing a scooter, you have a roller on the back. So if you touch the roller, it's just going to spin. There's not going to be anything that happens. I remember my dad's old Audi. I used to, and I don't advise doing this, but I used to motor pace behind the Audi many times, and I used to ride into that bumper, the back bumper, all the time. I used to ride into that, and actually after a few years the whole back bumper was completely destroyed in a sense. And my dad, not being the most observant person in the world, after about 3 or 4 years later was like, "What happened to my car?" And I was like, "Well, you haven't seen that? That's been the last 4 years of motor pacing." So, there's not, if you just touch the bumper, oftentimes that nothing will happen, but I don't advise it because, again, safety is key here. But let's talk a little bit about how to motor pace. So what's the real benefit of motor pacing is that you can bring your intensity up to a whole nother level in terms of really taxing your cardiovascular system, while your legs are moving at a very high speed, a high cadence, so you can really boost your pedaling efficiency, fluidity, activate those fast twitch fibers. So when you do motor pacing, not only can you really open up, you can go deeper than you can go on your own because you have somebody pushing you, and you're also getting pulled along. So you can really go super deep cardiovascularly, where you take your heart rate to new max if you want to. It's ideal for race simulation, right? And then that high cadence and that speed work from the motor pacing is going to give you that snap. It's going to give you that race leg speed that you can't really develop when you're training on your own. So it's really about race simulation, and ideally it's done in the last 2 or 3 weeks before an event, sometimes up to about 2 days or 3 days or even a day before the event. It's going to give you a big boost in leg speed and just make you feel ready for the race. How not to do motor pacing is to ride in your biggest gear and just go really fast, but just keep your cadence really low. That's really not the ideal way to do motor pacing. Motor pacing, you want to work on your leg speed and you want to work on your snap. If you want to do sprinting, what you can do is you can get the bike to take you up to, say, 50 to 60k an hour, and then you want to jump past the bike for about 10 to 15 seconds. If you're a sprinter, that's an incredible workout. That's how some of the best riders in the world train. If you're more focusing on a one-day event, you may want to ride 3-4 hours and then do the last 2 hours where you motor pace at the race intensity. So a very high intensity, but focusing on that high cadence and on that leg speed. So again, it's all about race simulation. You don't need a whole lot of it. Maybe 2 or 3 sessions before an A-type race is all you need to get you to that next level and to peak for that event. So hope you guys enjoyed that, and wishing you all the best with your cycling.